Hello and welcome back to another Rust base building episode with Grams. Today I'm bringing you the double diamond design, which allows you to have 12 C4 minimal in order for somebody to get inside the inner portion of your base. Now, depending on how tall your building is and how far you decide to go in this build, it could be much higher than 12 as a requirement. And as you see here, we got a nice large furnace inside that's protected fairly well, and it's kind of built into the actual base. Now before we start, I just want to show you guys that this is basically a base that you see here. Let me close these real quick. That this is a base within itself, and this is an external wall that is pretty much just elongated and to surround the furnace. Now as you see, this requires a little less C4, actually very much less C4 in order to get to the furnace, but into getting your loot rooms and everything else, it's going to be a lot more complicated. Now today what I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you what this base features, give you a quick base tour, then I'm going to show you how to build it, then I'm going to do a quick destruction of this base and raid this base as best as I can to show you guys how tough it is. Okay, we're going to do a quick base tour of this. As you see, I added a small door up there in order to shoot some nakeds or something like that that's bothering me today. But today I'm on a created server, so that's mostly for aesthetics. Now this is a 3-story wall that I have here, and so the inside of this is only 2-story tall. The reason why I have this gap here and don't have an extra floor in there is so it kind of keeps raiders away from boosting and being able to raid directly from the second floor. This goes around all the way around. So when they try to do it, it's going to be a lot more complicated for them. I'm not going to say it's impossible because it is possible still, but it's going to be terrifically a lot harder for them. So we got 3 doors here in order to get into the inner foundation of the base. Let me close this. And you have this nice large grassy area that you can place down furnaces and other goodies that you would really enjoy. Now this wall is modular, so you guys can expand this, contract it to whatever you guys need. So you guys can skip this external furnace altogether. Now let's go through the actual base and see what goodies it actually has inside. So as you see, this has a nice single door, but right here we have a double door. I really like this feature, so people who try to raid you and think that they could just go through the doors, they're actually using a lot more C4. However, you cannot use a double door in every section of this base, because as you see, there is a space between all these foundations. You cannot use double doors on all of them. It's only within this portion here because of how I place this last piece. So let's keep going inside and let's take a look at seeing what space and defenses this base actually has. Right now I'm standing in the inner portion of the triangle that is the most defensive and most defended area. This requires at least 12 C4 in order to stand here. Now this is where it comes in play, where I said depends how tall your base is and extra components you decide to put into this build really plays. So since I decided to make this 3 stories tall, this second floor is mostly a dummy base. Even though that this is a dummy floor, I did hollow out the walls here and the doorways that you would see on the floor below me. I did that so you can see how much space you have and how you can also really make a maximum efficiency of how many of the space that you actually have. So as you see, I added a solid wall on the other side, so you can add an extra furnace or chest here and still put up some extra walls. And I also put this door here so you guys can get a general overview of whatever space you have if you happen to think that there's somebody just sneaking around, snuck in behind you, or you can just shoot them or something of the sort. So let me show you the main master floor. Now as you see, there are 3 double doors. This door here behind these walls, it kind of goes the same way behind both of these walls. I just decided the extra defense on the first and second floor in case I decided the raiders decided to second floor and just boost up and try to raid me that way. So I have this 3rd floor, which is very unlikely. So if I wanted some extra space, put some furnaces or chests or something, I have that option. And over here I also removed the extra walls and doors just so you guys can see how much space it is again. Pretty spacious, isn't it? You got some place plenty of chests, shelvings, furnaces, and you can also increase how many floors you have in this one tower, so you can get some really strong defenses. As you see, these doors you're probably curious about. What they are is just their entrances to the external walls, and as you see over here, this is the door that I first showed you. So you guys can shoot people, defend your base, or otherwise. If you guys like this base, and you guys want to learn how to build it, or something of the sort, keep watching. We're going to learn how to build this. Now, it all starts with a center foundation of a triangle. Now, this triangle is going to be the most defensive and the most secure location of your entire base. So wherever you want this, consider that it's going to be the direct center of your base. So we're going to put this here, and what we're going to do is that you're going to have to do the same thing for all three directions. Now, I'm going to do it 3 times so you guys can see how to do this. And if you guys don't really like it, I'm going to also fast forward it just a tad so you guys aren't going to be wasting your time. So what you want to do is that, since this is your center, you want to build 3 squares off in a direction. You're going to have to do this for all 3 sides. And this is going to be a little bit more price conscious, and this is going to be a little bit time consuming and confusing, but this is how you're supposed to get it, to get them really close together. People can't fit through it, and it's like a solid wall with adding an extra wall. So what you want to do is that you want to get 3 squares, and you want to place this triangle foundation here. You want to remove the 3 squares and go back to where the triangle foundation faces away from you. So you want to get these 2 triangles here. Then you want to remove everything behind it. You want to do another 2 square foundations and then a triangle. Remember, I'm going to go through this again. You want to remove those squares and the triangle behind there and do the same thing again. Go back here until you got a double triangle again like that. Remove everything from before. Now you got to do it one more time. 1, 2, triangle. Remove it all. And then you do the triangle back here. But this time you keep going. When you keep going, you're going to get this perfect angle as you see here, where it's just further enough to where people cannot squeeze through, and it's just far enough to where you can place an extra wall and an extra defense. So as you see, I can place a wall here, and I can place a wall there. So you can place a double wall. Now this triangle foundation is absolutely wonderful, and what you want to do is that you want to do this twice. So, well, 2 more times. So let me show you how to do it again. You start with square, 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 then triangle. You want to get rid of these 3. Go back to where you get the double triangle once again, where it's facing away from you and the triangle's away. Remove everything from behind you. Do 2 square this time instead of 3. End it with a triangle. Get rid of all of them. Now you want to go backwards and get that double triangle like you had before. I just seem to be lagging a little bit. There we go. There we go, and you want to get that double triangle again. Now remember, we did that the first time with 3 squares, and we went back, got this. Now we went forward with 2 squares, and we gone back and got this. You got to do that double one twice. So we did it 3, and we did it 2. So we need to do 1 more 2. So 1, 2. Triangle. Remove, remove, remove. And then at this point, after you've done your 3 squares, and then your 2 squared ones, you want to go all the way back, and then I know it looks like a tight fit because it is, and you just want to attach it straight onto here. And as you see, you got that perfect foundation and that perfect wall. There's only one problem with this. When you decide to do this all 3 times, you cannot add 2 double doors or 2 doorways back to back. You can add 2 walls, but you cannot do 2 double doors. Now I'm going to show you how I did my double door in the other one, but that's only based off of having this completely finished. Now I'm going to fast forward for this last one so you guys don't have to listen to me rabble again. I just finished doing my 4 triangles where they're really close together and I can set up all my walls and everything. Now, to continue building the base, you're going to have to do it 2 more times. You want to go out in this direction, and you want to go out in this direction. I'm going to fast forward, and from that point, I can show you how I did my double doors. I finished these 2 triangles. Now you cannot create an additional triangle here with the double wall because this ends up causing a problem because you can't place a square here because the other triangle's in the way and it works the same way. So what you have to do is that you just need to attach a triangle onto this, and this is where it creates that just enough gap to have 2 double doors. This is where I have my main entrance at my other base, and this is where you got that 2 double doors on the left. So right now I'm going to show you how to build these extra walls, and this is where you begin. What you want to do is that you want to start with a square foundation. You want to attach a square foundation on each side of this triangle. You want to put a triangle at the end of those squares. You want to remove the squares and come back with the triangle attached, as you see here. You want to put one more on each side so they attach on here. You want to remove the initial triangles. From there, you just want to expand onward so it surrounds your entire base. You may have to do one more in order to turn it, as you see here. As you go further, you will notice that this your main entrance is going to end up being blocked. So you want to make sure you don't block that, but at the same time you want to keep symmetry. When you keep symmetry like this, you want to realize that you need to create enough of a grassy plain in order to place your large furnace. Now, if you wanted to create 2 furnaces, this is at the point of your video. If you wanted to create 2 furnaces, this is at the point of your build, to where you want to know that you can customize this and edit this in order to fit your build. For now, I am going to expand this outward just a little bit and kind of repeat what I did before, to where it gets a nice, clean, open area, and I'm able to place a very large furnace inside. So I just went outward by 1, and I just expanded it by a little. So, as you see there, I went outward by 1, I went inward, and I expanded it straight. I want to make sure that these 2 meet evenly. As you see, you get also a nice flush surface on this side as well. And you have a nice large grassy plain in order to place these. So, right now I'm just going to be placing the furnace just so you can see the area that you have. I'm going to place this furnace right here, and I have a nice entrance in order to get inside my base. From here on, you just want to customize this foundation to wherever you want to customize your build. Remember, 3 stories tall is really good. 2 stories tall makes it so your base can be easily rated. I'm not going to say very, very, very easy, but I say easily in a context to which people can boost on top of each other and require a lot less C4 and save them a lot of resources and take yours a lot easier. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video, and be careful out there in that jerk-infested world that is Rust. Now say I wanted to get inside this base. I know that the easiest way to go through is through this wall right here. However, people from the outside won't know that. So you have to go a very particular pathway in order to use only 12 C4 to get to the center portion of your base. Again, if you add more floors, that's 2 more C4, 4 more C4. If you add more walls in there, that's just adding more and more and more difficulty in order to get inside. So I'm going to say I know the perfect way through because I saw this video, and I'm going to go through that way. So this is going to be the easiest way. We'll go right through this wall, and I'm going to pause right here and fast forward for the explosion. Okay, now you're left with a left or a right. You have to go right in order to save yourself the most amount of C4. Go left, you're going to go towards the front of the base, you're going to end up using 2 more. Now if you try to go the other directions, you're not going to get this. I'm going to fast forward 1. Now, again, as you see, they're going to be going through here. They're going to be like, oh my god, there's a lot of walls. I'm not sure this is going to be paying off, but screw it. We're already in this far. Let's do 2 more. They're going to break through this wall. They're going to think they're going to get to the bottom portion of your base, but it's going to be very funny for what they would be saying. Okay, they get inside. They see this wall here. They see a bunch of this honeycombing inside here. They're going to be like, holy wow. So, let's just say we're going to go through here. They decided to pick left like the smart person that they should. So that's 2, 4, 6 C4 that I just used in order to try to get inside. And this is the shortest path to trying to get inside. So that's 2, 4, 6. We just used 2 more, so that's 8. And you're still not into the center of the base, so let's go through this too. This is another 2, so that's a total of 10. Doubt people are going to use this much, especially on a vanilla server. Now, here we go. They finally get inside. They think, okay, this has to be it. Oh my god, didn't we just blow this up? Nope, nope, not at all. So let's place this there. Do another 2. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and this is 12. They finally blasted through that last wall. Now, if I can manage to get up here. They finally got to the center portion of the base, where you finally able to decide. Now, guess what? You just made it a little bit more difficult and more problematic for them, so they either have to bone club in for a ridiculous amount of time to try to get through here, or they gotta use 2 more. So let's say they knew that there was nothing on this base. Somebody gave them a tour of the base, and they know all the goodies is on this floor. So here's another 2, so that's 16. Again, adding more floors is nothing but beneficial. Adding more floors is nothing more than glory onto this defense. Glory onto this defense. So let's finally go through here. They finally got through 16 C4. Guess what? They just blew up the ladders. So let's say they had a extra ladder. They got the 2 covered, or I don't know, something weird like that. They got through. They finally got up here. It took them 16 C4 in order to get to this 3rd floor and finally get to your goodies room. That's assuming if you didn't add more doors. That's assuming you have it in this location, because you can always lift this all down right here and just expand out and just place a plain floor here. So you can always just make it more difficult for them in order to get through. So, for example, if you decided to, you can just place an extra door here if you want to keep your most valuable stuff, and guess what? It's just that much more difficult for the people to get through. Now, this base is potential for roof raiding, but then again, any base ever is potential for roof raiding. So, anyway, I'll see you guys in the next portion.
Where are you?
You will never find me.
Don't!
Nope. You will never find me.
If I just blew up this Ow, you
Yes, dude. Whoa.